is Leslie S. Talley. I'm the author of what I like to call the Bones series. My daughter, Terry Talley Venters, a fellow writer, and I both write from a sense of place. And that's how I change my stories. I have my innkeepers do exchange innkeepers, and so I have a different setting for each book. The second book in the series is Bred in the Bone, and that's set in St. Augustine, Florida. And it's still Florida, even though the first book was set in Daytona, but St. Augustine is so much more than Florida. It's got the Spanish occupation and the British occupation and Henry Flagler and all that history. So I can draw on that. The third book in the series is called The Closer the Bone. And once again, we got a different locale, Ireland. And here I have a chance to do this whole fish out of water culture shock thing. So this is our heroine, Clarice, has been arrested by the obnoxious detective, Inspector Swaney, and she is sitting in the perp row at the Garda station. And this is Clarice, and she's going to be talking to one of the other perps in a minute. In the clink, the slammer. Not that I actually saw the inside of an Irish gale. The interview room sufficed quite enough, thank you very much. Once arrived, they separated Kathleen and me. Did the Garda think we colluded? They took Otis, cuffed and all, in a different car where I didn't know. Evidently, assaulting a Garda, especially an inspector, ranked above, say, the murder of Fergus Flanagan. Of course, before interviewing me, Swaney did the obligatory cooling their heels, making me wait and squirm in a metal chair in a row with the rest of the scum. Nothing else can make you realize your foreign status more than a trip to a Garda station and mingling with the perps. Ireland's finest were about the same age, young adult males with straggly facial hair, bleary eyes, and permanent slouches. One of them, next to me, wore a peacoat whose sleeve he used as a hanky. The other, unaccountably, draped himself in a blanket. They reminded me of what I imagine a younger Seamus Quinn might have looked like, and we know what happened to him. Their conversation went something like this. So me ma sends me to the corner to buy some cow juice for the babby, you know. And I'm perishing of thirst, needing an Arthur's mighty bad. So I pops into the boozer for a gargle. And who should there be but Aiden O'Quinn? Man, he's paralytic, just rabbiting on, and I didn't want no ructions, see, so I thought sat down to the bar, and took no notice. And then he starts talking about he and his mates could beat anyone at road curb. Bad cess to him. Righto, but I keeps a civil tongue in me head and just watch the piped telly, just minding me own business, when all of a sudden he says something nasty about me own team of lads. Stop the lights. Yeah, before you know it, we're having a right slinging match. J.D. Mack, were you hurt? No, he couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. But then some feckin' idiot calls the peelers, and before you know it, there's 3 Black Mariahs at the door. What are you doing in the cop shop then? I stops in the park for a snog with me bird. Well, one thing leads to another, you know, and there I am down to me Y-fronts when a busy pops into the bushes and gets me for indecent exposure. I ask you, if he has to come looking in the bushes, I'm not exposing myself, now am I? The first lad shakes his head at this bit of nerve by a Garda. Then he turned to me. Got a flea rake I could use, missus, so's I look good when me fickin' brief comes? I must have looked bewildered. Flea rake? Oh, from off, are you? Comb to you, missus. I disclaimed all knowledge of having a comb, having come away without my purse. A fag? I tried not to look supercilious, as only a former smoker can do. Afraid not, I said, smiling slightly. Square some shrapnel for a pint? I shook my head. Right lady muck, ain't you? Holy shite. Now, there's a lot of slang in here, which I think you could guess the meaning of, but just to start off with, cow juice is milk, of course. and he's talking about he's needing a gargle. He means he wants a drink. He's needing an Arthur's mighty bad, and that means a Guinness. Sir Arthur Guinness, who bottled Guinness. Oh, some feck in Egypt calls the peelers. Now, the modern British police force was founded by Sir Robert Peel, and in England, they're affectionately called bobbies, after Robert Peel. In Ireland, they're called not so affectionately peelers. Y fronts. I'm down to me Y fronts, meaning tidy whities. When a cop is a busy, pops into the bushes. A flea rake, of course, is a cone. And when the perp says, "Oh, from off, are you?" When anyone from not in Dublin is from off, and that includes the west coast of Ireland. And they kind of look down on the west coast of Ireland. This is a bunch of sheep farmers. Spare some shrapnel for a pint, that's change. So I just pieced this together by Googling Irish slang, and I think most people will get the gist of it, whether they might not know all the words.